Welcome back, everyone. It is time for Emily's Energy Corner. Today's guest on the show is Carly Pollack, and she is the author of the book Feed Your Soul, and it's nutritional wisdom to lose weight permanently and live fulfilled. And I was telling her on the show, and I hope you guys go back and listen to the whole thing, but I was telling her on the show that I'm very protective on this show about people that are centered around diet, because I don't ever want people to feel like you should eat this or do that. And the reason that I chose Carly to be on the show is because that's exactly her point too, is that one person's poison is somebody else's medicine. And it's never, even in one of her chapters, it says, one size does not fit all. What does she say? It's a really funny chapter. It says, one size fits no one, and it's a little tight in the crotch. That's the chapter title, which I think is really funny. But she gives a lot of really, I say delicious because it really is delicious wisdom about finding happiness and balance with what you choose to eat and the mindset that is attached to the diet. So I love that, and this book is really beautiful. I've had a great time reading it, and she was a fabulous guest. So I hope that you do get out there and buy the book, Feed Your Soul, Carly Pollack, and you can find her at carlypollack.com. And so the Energy Corner, she brought up something, and it made me think about different conversations that I've been having lately. So right now is huge energetic shifts, which I feel like is a conversation that tends to happen pretty often lately. There's a lot going on. Today is a super full moon, and a lot of things are going on in the ethers, and a lot of people are feeling the effects. And unfortunately, what I'm seeing is that a lot of people are feeling really discombobulated and out of place with what they're feeling and things that are coming up. And I understand that planetarily and energetically, there's a lot of things that are happening. But I also want to say that you are in charge of your body and your thoughts and the way that you take yourself through it. Whether that means you sort of duck and go through, or whether that means you completely disengage and don't worry about whatever's going on energetically. But don't fall so deep into that it gives you sort of license to say, well, you know what, right now Mercury's in retrograde, which it is. So that's why none of this is working. And I get it, that it does. It kind of messes up computers and glitches and a lot of things. Now, I've actually had amazing things happen to me when Mercury's in retrograde. So I feel like people sort of set you up to think that things are bad when they're not. So be in charge of your thoughts, be in charge of your feelings, be in charge of your awareness, be in charge of how you speak outward. And also, the point of Emily's Energy Corner today is the way that you speak to yourself. We talk about this a lot, self-talk, but I found myself having a conversation just today where a lot of people still have that fear around success. Right? It's not a fear of failure as much as it is a fear of really being successful. Puts people into a tizzy. So you think that you want to be successful, but then you're not really ready for the other things that come with finally achieving a certain level of success that you've been thinking about. But I was talking to somebody today, and I said, I have to tell you, I'm not afraid of success. I'm not afraid of it. It's not something that I'm ducking from. It's not something that I'm it's just not something that's scary to me anymore. What I prefer, though, is to still have a say-so in the things that I choose to do, or the places that I choose to speak, and where I want to share what I have learned over the years. But success has not eluded me, and I'm not afraid of it. And I think there's still a lot of people that run from being seen, even though they desperately want to. So it's a push-pull thing. They have this creative thing inside them. They have something special going on inside them. They're good at something, but putting themselves out there makes people feel really vulnerable, and I understand that. But what I want you to work on is embracing that vulnerability, because that vulnerability is no longer something that is viewed as a weakness. It's actually your superpower. Because when you just sort of put yourself out there and go, look, okay, here's the things that make me a little bit... these are my shortcomings. They're a little, you have to deal with it. Okay, so for me, I deal with anxiety. So if you put me up on a stage, in the first 3 minutes, I feel like I'm going to die. I feel like I'm going to fall out, stop breathing, pass out, freak out, die. If you can get past the first 3 minutes and I get over myself, then I have this great amount of information that I can share, and it becomes really beneficial to everyone, and I can connect with everybody, and it's great. But I have those first few minutes. So in my mind, and what I sort of preface with is, hey, everybody, I get a little anxious, so please bear with me for just a couple of minutes, and then I will be completely centered and focused and ready. And I wish that I could do that backstage. I wish that I could do that before I step out. But the truth is that when that much energy is around me, it used to be that I thought it was just me. It's my anxiety. It's my problem. But honestly, for me, I'm really sensitive to that many people and their energy. And so I have to sort of rebalance and recalibrate my own space and my own energy if I am around a lot of people and I'm expected to speak. And it's just taken a long time for me to realize what are the things that I can work around to empower the parts of me that might be viewed as something weak or vulnerable. So instead, you just own it and turn it into something powerful instead of being afraid or try to fake it. This whole fake it till you make it is crap. It's just total crap. There's so many people that live by that fake it till you make it. No. Why? Why would you fake it? Why can't you just be who you are so that you stop running and stop pretending to be somebody that you're not? Once you get comfortable with the parts of you that are a little bit fragile or sensitive, you own it, you put it out there, I'm telling you, it becomes the superpower. It becomes your strengthening agent and not something that you have to hide behind or run around from and pretend like it's not part of who you are. Who you are is magic and special, and who you are, just own that. Own that glitter magic and put it out there and be okay with it. And there's just the way that we speak to ourselves has got to shift and change. You own it. You know the parts of you that make you personally feel uncomfortable. But once you put it out there, it's not uncomfortable anymore. So I think that's a really valuable measure to take when you're deciding to put yourself out there into any capacity. But it's also, even if you're not going out, if you're not getting on a stage or you're not writing or creating or whatever it is, it's not about just putting yourself out there for other people to see. It's just a way of living your life that makes you happy, that's how you're living your life today. So it's just that own your stuff, and then move on. And then it becomes the heavy weight that it used to wrap around you no longer carries that weight. So there's such freedom in honesty. There's such freedom and magic in being vulnerable, because then it takes away the vulnerable part. I mean, isn't that cool? You kind of like meet it where it's at and kind of trick it around so that you're not so vulnerable. So there's a balance and there's an empowerment that comes with how you treat yourself and how you are giving yourself the green light on the parts of you that you used to view as a weakness. Just make it part of who you are instead of that big push-pull and that big fight, because it's not necessary. And the way that you speak to yourself, you guys, please, for the week, this is our week's homework from the Energy Corner, is please try to make sure that you are kind to yourself on the inside, because that's what matters the most. It starts there, and then you carry that kindness out. So you guys have been listening to Emily's Energy Corner. Shoot me an email, emilyafrancis@gmail.com, and I look forward to next week's show. See you guys back here next Wednesday.